Hey, everybody, welcome back or welcome. If this is your first time here, I am the Eagle fan. I have been just reacting to and finding such amazing music, and I return to incredible talent here tonight. Looking forward to this. This is Sohyang. Don't Forget Me. She has an amazing voice. I'm very much looking forward to this. Slowly heading towards the fanboy zone. Not quite there yet. Maybe haven't quite heard enough yet, but getting close. I'm curious. Let's check this out. And I do. After this, I have a question to pose to you. Trying to find out if I am the a-hole in this scenario, although I don't think I am. So let's see what you guys think. And by guys, that is just a general term. I am not excluding anybody with that. Just in growing up, that's always been the term used to just generically refer to people. So, Yang. So Yang. Ha! I'm sorry, that was awful. I already hear people clicking off out there. Okay. Let's hear some Sohyang. There will be a pause at some point, roughly halfway through. Okay, sorry. There might actually be another pause in here. I apologize. I did not realize where I saved this video from. So I don't know if you saw me looking here. I'm like, seems more like a fan captured than an actual video from the site. And I could see it looks like it's actually from a fan site. And I can tell by the background noise and all that stuff that you don't normally get with actual high quality recordings, that it seems like it was just taken by a fan. And I'm going to keep reacting to it here. It's not the greatest overall quality, but I think it's good. It's actually a good recording for a fan recording, other than the local noise that you hear there. So it's actually pretty good. Her volume is actually a little bit lower there, it seems. And I noticed it more at the beginning with the music. Seemed like it was much louder than her at the very opening to that. But I'm curious. I want to keep going. Let's keep going. There will be another pause. I apologize. Let's go. Okay. This will be the last pause, I promise. She has an amazing voice. And that actually is even more evident by the fact that this is a fan recorded video. If she sounds this good on what is likely a phone recording, it just solidifies how much of an amazing vocalist she is. So let's keep going. We'll finish this out and then we'll have some discussions. Find out if I am the a-hole. Thank you. Thank you very much. She has just a beautiful voice. So I gotta say, I am so sorry. I was so pumped up about this because this was a recent video I saw and I didn't look closely enough at the channel that I saved it from. And in my mind, I thought, it's a new release. This is going to be awesome. And no, it was just a new video on that particular channel. So I do apologize. I'm completely thinking new song, new release. Let's go. But still, she's amazing. Regardless of it being a cell phone video from a fan, still, she's amazing. And like I said, that kind of reinforces that even more because I've recorded several songs in concerts that I've seen. In fact, on this channel, I even have a playlist. It's concert footage. And when I listen back to those, I can tell differences in there. Obviously, it's obviously not a high quality recording, but I think they're generally decent for it being a cell phone. But still, just listening on there, I can hear some of the singers in there that I'm like, okay, they're not, they're good, but not great after hearing them on that because it doesn't hide any of the flaws. It might not always sound the greatest, but it still doesn't. But discounting that, when you can hear clearly, sometimes it doesn't hide those flaws. But if you can sound good on that, then you're very good. So I definitely like this. Let me know your thoughts and feel free to praise Sohyang all you want because I would. Now, let me just ask you about this situation to see what you think. If you think I'm the a-hole, that is fine. It may go against my whole be good to each other thing. But I was watching a video And it was a video in reaction to another channel. And on that channel, they happen to be discussing things. And it was a little bit of a agree, disagree type of thing. And one of the topics that came up is, if your friend cheated on their significant other, would you stop being friends with them? And most everybody on that original show said no, they wouldn't stop being friends with them. And I believe one of them may have said, depends. Yeah, what's the circumstance? But the video I was watching that was reacting to that was up in arms. How can you still be friends with that person? You can't still be friends with that person. And my thing is, why? Why? If my friend or your friend who you've been friends with for years, and you found out that, they cheated on their significant other, would you stop being friends with them? To me, it doesn't. That doesn't affect my relationship with my friend. I'm not dating my friend. I have no plans in dating my friend. So why should I care if my friend cheated on their significant other, as long as it didn't somehow involve me? If they cheated on their significant other with my significant other, well, then yeah. But in this case, the person who was friends had no, there wasn't a connection. They, didn't cheat with a family member or any relationship there. So, like, why should you throw away a friendship because that person did that? And I got jumped on my comment with people saying, "Oh, well, you can't trust them anymore." I'm like, what do you mean I can't trust them anymore? They didn't do anything to me. They didn't do anything to break my trust. And then somehow other people took my comment as accepting abuse. And I'm like, how does this? The original story had nothing to do with abuse. There wasn't abuse. It was just somebody was unfaithful. At no point would I say that accept abuse. That's a lot different than somebody cheating. It's not good, obviously, for them and their family and their relationship, but that's between them. That has nothing to do with me. So why should I stop being friends with that person? A little behind the scenes. There was a scenario like this decades ago now. And not a friend that I have talked to for quite a while. But not because of that. Just one of those scenarios when you start getting older, you start kind of growing apart at times. And found out that that person had cheated on their wife. And, I wasn't going to, don't ask me to lie for you, that kind of stuff. I wasn't going to do that. But what he was then dealing with between himself and his family and his wife and his in-laws, that's all on him. But that didn't affect my friendship with him. And I don't think it should. I think it's pretty short-sighted to think that should affect your friendship. Now, if we are talking, okay, there's abuse and stuff, that's much different, because now we've really crossed the line. If you're physically abusing somebody, then to be honest with you, I might not run away from the friend, but I would definitely try to get that friend straightened out. And to me, even in that situation, depending on extremes, and there's obviously context in each individual situation. But if it was extreme, well, then then distance. But if it's something that you can try to help them get through so that they're not doing that stuff, get them to understand that that's not how we behave. And the other part, though, I don't care about. As long as as long as the person cheated with a consenting adult, then actually the other way, I don't even consider that cheating. If it wasn't a consenting adult, then there's all sorts of other issues. But am I wrong? Would you end a friendship of, at that point for me, decades, just because that person cheated on their significant other? It has nothing to do with me. That seems very, very short-sighted. And that's a problem that I have seen a lot on especially these channels that read Reddit and do those kind of things. There's always people that just jump right to oh, that person's an a-hole. Well, hold on. You're going based on your own, kind of your own ideas there. It's not always that easy. It's not always that simple. I'll use another example. What I'm saying for that. There was a guy in a Reddit story who, it was the woman was writing the Reddit story about their, I don't know if it was boyfriend, fiance, husband, I'm not sure, saying, how that person has different things that they really like and they really get excited about. But every time you talk about that, they will over-explain everything. The original poster on that said, does that with any time talking about these topics, does that with anyone. But the person reading jumped on this whole toxic masculinity thing. They're mansplaining. They're this, they're that. Original poster literally says, does the same exact thing when he's talking with his dad about these things. So he's mansplaining to a man? I don't know. To me, it sounded a lot like someone who could be somewhere on the spectrum, who gets excited about this one topic and will tell you everything about that topic. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I just simply pointed out, don't jump to conclusions right away. You've got to think, read the whole story, take in all of the context. It sounds a lot to me like this person might be on the spectrum, and the person reading it is like, well, she needs to get rid of him. I'm like, but no. Have them find out. Maybe this guy doesn't even know that he's on the spectrum. Have him checked out, maybe. I don't know. But it's not a matter of, he was talking down to her because she was a woman. Especially since everything else that was discussed about the relationship sounded great. And that's just my thing, is people jump to conclusions on that stuff. And I know that has nothing to do with Sohyang and my reaction here, but I just wanted to get stuff out in the open there. What do you think? Was I the a-hole by saying I would still stay friends with my friend in that situation? All the person did was cheat on their significant other. I'm not trying to downplay that. Just in my relationship with a friend, that, again, depending on who they cheated with, doesn't affect anything. Why should I think that because my friend was weak when they saw an attractive woman, that means, okay, now they're going to start lying to me. That is one hell of a jump. That's a jump that's almost the difference between the 99% and the 1%. There's a huge gap that's being jumped there. Okay, enough of that. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this? What do you think about Sohyang? And hope everybody's having a good day out there. Let's help this world heal. And one thing to do that would be opening up a dialogue. It's not easy. Oh, it's not easy. Especially when, at least so far, the people I've attempted to open dialogues with, all they want to do is speak in Fox News meme, which just kind of grinds any conversation to a halt. But I will keep trying. I'll see what I can do. Check out EagleFan Speaks. I have lined up and I've started to do some recording for some episodes where I am going to highlight some of the things that I've heard on some of these call-in shows. Just to show what kind of hate is out there and try to propose better lines of thinking. So, thank you. Thank you for making it this far. Thank you for putting up with me while I was really on a tangent there. And until next time, everybody, take care and keep your eyes to the sky or all around, because you never know what you might miss. You never know. If you just stare.